Hello and welcome everyone to Twin Flames, the Great Spiritual Awakening podcast, where every week you can hear real life stories from people who have answered the call of divine love. My name is Dennis. I'm a certified Ascension coach with Twin Flames Universe and your host. And I've been on my Twin Flame journey for a couple of years now. And thanks to the teachings of union, found my true Twin Flame that I'm now living in union with. For our episode today, it is my pleasure to welcome here with me Dany. Hello, Dany. How are you doing
Hi,
today?
Dennis. Very happy to be here.
Very happy to have you. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing about your journey. For the people who don't happen to know you, you were a live student of Twin Flame Ascension School. And back in the days when the TFAS classes were still being recorded, you came into union. You were amongst one of the first couples to achieve union. I know back then it wasn't a lot of people. And I know I was watching your class and I was like, oh, Dany's in union. Okay, that's cool. And I was really following your story and what you were sharing at that time. And yeah, it's been a couple of years now for you since that happened. And yeah, one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to recording this with you, because I feel like I don't know myself what happened in that time, and I'm really excited to hear about what you've been up to the last couple of years and what has been happening on your journey with your life purpose, with your twin flame, and all of that.
Sounds good. Yeah, definitely. It's been a very profound journey. I would say it's been really nice and beautiful. I personally think that the Twin Flame journey is a journey of miracles, a journey of love, and it's really a blessing to make the choice to devote yourself to your Twin Flame journey. I think that everybody who wants real love or who believes in real love can easily choose their twin flame journey, um, because it's the promise that dreams can come true and that you can definitely have your twin flame. And yeah, I think that that's the reason why I decided to pursue my twin flame journey, and the reason why I'm here. And yeah, like when I got into union, it was definitely a challenge. I didn't really know my twin flame uh, before, and then when I decided to kind of like embark on this journey into my heart and like get to know God on a deeper level, that's when I manifested my twin flame and I met him. And then it was when I met him that I started to feel this deep connection with this man. And I didn't know what was going on with me. I was feeling like I was hanging out with like myself, but at the same time we were different, and I didn't really understand what was going on with me. And it was that curiosity of what was happening that brought me to look for an answer. And I remember telling a friend that like I had met this guy that I was feeling so connected to, that it was something that I was feeling like home. And that's when he told me like, oh, perhaps this is your soul. And that's how I started to have a little bit of knowledge about what like soulmates, twin flames, like I didn't have that before. And so yeah, like that's how I found Jevin Shalia as well. And by looking into twin flames, and like it really gave me a lot of peace when I found the terms twin flames, because I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy, like what I'm feeling right now, what I'm going through with this guy, people talk about it, like I'm not the only one who is feeling this right now. And so that helped me a lot. And then I did a lot of Google search, and then I found Jevin Shalia on YouTube, and that's when I felt like I could breathe, like, okay, so this is it, like I can relax. This is a thing, people are talking about it, and I feel good, I feel at peace, like peaceful. And so I feel like that's how everything started, my journey. And it was as soon as I found, Jim Shali on YouTube, and then I wanted to be a student of Twin Flame Ascension in school, and I remember that I wanted to be live student, and I told Shalia, like, when do I start the live classes, you know? And she's like, well, you know, the classes are recorded and you can watch them, and you know, we already have the students. But that didn't sit well to me. I was like, I claimed them, you know, like I want to be there. Like I really had this call to be in the classes. And so I I was okay with it. You know, I was like, okay, good, this is what it is, and I'm gonna start my, you know, my journey with the classes. And so I subscribed to Twin Flame Ascension in school, and then 3 months after that, I got into union with my twin flame.
Wow.
Like I started to apply the teachings, you know, of union. Everything that I was learning from the classes, I was applying in my life and in my relationship with Ian, my twin flame. And so that helped, you know, and that's how I was able to be in union with him. I would say that we had many challenges. Like we both are very passionate people. And so our relationship has been really passionate with ups and downs and drama and like many things, you know, that we had to purge. And so yeah, like that's how I got into, you know, union with Ian. And then I kept doing that. I kept applying everything that I was learning from the classes now on a deeper level, you know, and then that's how I manifested living with my twin flame. And that this was like 4 years ago when, you know, not everyone was living with their twin flames, you know, it was kind of like new. And so I felt that like I was out there in the cold, figuring it out, you know, even if I had the support of, you know, the classes and everything, it's still not so easy to do something that is new, you know, at least it was very new to me. And so, yeah, I think that the hard work and my devotion to apply the teachings, to apply what I was learning, got me into like manifesting now, living with my twin flame, you know, 4 years ago. And that's what, you know, Jeff and Shalia saw in me. And then they were like, you've earned it, you know, you earned being a live student. Do you want to be a live student? Like, you know, and I remember Jeff gave me like, you know, the weekend to think about it, because it's a huge responsibility, you know, and it was a very big responsibility. But I knew it right away, like, oh no, yeah, I want to do this. Like I've been calling for this, you know, like I say yes. And so that's how pretty much everything started, you know, with that. And I just kept committing deeper and deeper and deeper with healing myself and cultivating a deep relationship with myself, with God, with, you know, the twin flames, like twin flames universe, and like understanding, right, like deepening my knowledge what twin flames are and what does it mean, you know, that your twin flame is your mirror, like all of these things, you know, and I started to really study that very deeply. And I think that that was key, you know, and that's how I was also able to sustain and like keep my union till now. And we are in a very nice place at the moment. Yeah.
Very nice. You brought up a lot of things. I don't even know where to begin with. I think I'm gonna get kind of to the beginning of what you shared, because yeah, there was a lot in there. And I know in the beginning you mentioned that when you met your twin flame and before you found Twin Flames Universe, you had that feeling of, oh, I'm crazy, like I'm going through something that no one understands. And I feel like that's what so many people experience when it comes to twin flames. Like you meet your twin flame, or like in some cases a false twin flame, and then you think like, okay, what is that? No one can explain that to you, and you kind of start like questioning yourself, am I just crazy? Am I just making that like up, or like what is that? And yeah, like in your cases you shared, it was like when you found Twin Flames Universe that like things started to make sense for you, and you were able to you know, in a grounded way apply like the teachings and manifest your union.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely thought that I was crazy, you know, like it was something really new for me to have met my twin flame, you know, like I was not I had no idea that it was real. You know, like I was always a very, very Disney person. I'm still that person, you know, and but yeah, like growing up, I loved fairy tales and the Prince Charming and you know, and the princess and this love, that like the eternal love. Like I always felt a lot of passion for that, and um, I thought that like, you know, maybe it's real, maybe it's not, but they are talking about it, you know. But I always had that hope, let's say, that I can have that it's real. But I think that like, you know, through the years of having breakups and not finding my twin flame, I kind of like gave up. And so when I finally decided to like, you know, get to know myself in a better place and I found my twin flame, I think that because I had decided not to pursue my dream with finding my true love, that's why I thought I was crazy, because I had kind of like forbidden in a way myself to believe in it, you know, because I didn't want to be hurt, because I was really hurt in my false twin flame experience. And so, yeah, I think that's the reason why, you know, people tend to think that, you know, they are crazy, because we're not told that, you know, you have a twin flame, that you have your perfect lover, that, you know, fairy tales are real, and that you can actually have that, and that there is a way, like it's dreaming. And so I think that's why, you know, I thought like, oh, I'm crazy. Like I think, you know, now I'm going back to my childhood. Like I feel like a teenager, you know, like I don't know what's going on with me. But I think that like everybody who's listening to this, you know, you have to trust your gut feeling when you meet somebody that makes you feel that way, because love is so real, and only when you really pursue it with all of your heart, you can have everything that you want. You know, and so yeah.
What was it for you that made you be able to switch from this feeling of like, oh, maybe I'm just crazy, to actually believing that, oh yes, this is really true love and I'm going to go all in with it?
Yes. I would say listening to Jev and Shalia, because they were the first people, you know, who were talking about twin flames and who were talking about love and spirituality in a very grounded way, you know. And I've always been very logical, emotional, but really logical, you know. Like I also studied clinical psychology. I graduated as a psychologist, and so for me, I was always, you know, kind of like, I need to understand, right? And I'm still that way, you know. And so I think that like something that helped me see that I'm not crazy was to watch Jevon Shalia's videos and then the classes, because the way they speak and the way they talk about twin flames made me realize that what they are saying is not just a fairy tale. It makes sense. It's logic, you know. And so I think that like I would always use everything that I was learning from Jev and Shalia, and I would always compare with science, and I was like, this is it, you know, this makes sense, and science can explain everything, and so this is real, pretty much.
Love that. And that's really, you know, how like the whole like teaching, it really is a guaranteed way to harmonious union, and it is a science in a way because it works every single time. So I love how you know, you just mentioned that like for you, like this part of it has to make sense is really important, and that's like a really legit thing, because you're not just gonna do something because you just have a gut feeling, and then like, you know, you just put your entire life into it and you don't even care whether you see like you get like results or any of that. Like you want to do something and observe like, hey, this is working, this is bringing the results. Like there's a logic and a sense behind it. So yeah, I love that you highlight that part of like behind the teachings of union.
Yes, and also the feeling, you know, like the feeling I had the first time I did the mirror exercise, it was magical. Like it's something I had never experienced in my life before. And like I even remember what I was doing, like how was it, you know. And so I was like, wow, this is so profound. And I think that also for me, in my case, with my experience as a psychologist, I was like, I've learned so much. Like I've learned so many tools that support people to, get well and all these things. And when I started to apply the mirror exercise, I was like, this tool is like everything in one, and not only makes you feel good, it connects you with an energy that suits you. Like I feel in my body something warm, like this is special, this is spiritual. I love it. That was also something that made me think like this is so real, because it makes so much sense, and the feeling is incredible.
Love that. Absolutely. Like I know when I tried the mirror exercise for the first time, and it was like, oh my God, this is like magic. And it works every single time. That's like the thing, no matter what upset you have with anything in your reality or your twin flame, like every time you do it, it still works. And I feel like I still have moments today after like 4 years of applying it where I'm still like, oh my God, it worked again. This is like it's so simple and so easy and so effective.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, this is simple, easy, effective. It's perfect. It's what I needed. It's what everybody needs. Like that's what I thought. I think like especially with me, that like I learned so much, like so many techniques to help human, heal, to help humans feel better in many approaches. Because that's what I studied. Like I literally studied clinical psychology, which means to do therapy. Help people. And I knew so many approaches, so many techniques. And then this one was like, boom, the cherry on top. This is everything, the full combo, and it's easy and fast, and it's permanent. And so to me, it felt like an upgrade. And so whenever I find something that works fast and it's efficient and it's permanent, I stick to it, and that's why I was like, this is giving me results. I'm never gonna leave this, and like I'm also feeling something so beautiful in myself. I'm here to stay. That's what I thought.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I resonate. And it's also,
Nice.
really cool to hear your perspective as someone who actually, studied clinical psychology, that, you have this background of knowing all of these different techniques and like methods to help people feel better. And then you kind of bring this like, like you have a very easy way to compare all the rest out there to the mirror exercise. And it's really cool to hear you speak about that and like what your experience has been, and kind of like speak to the power of the mirror exercise.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the mirror exercise doesn't make you waste your time. Like you go straight to the core, whatever is bothering you, you heal through it, you feel good, you move on.
Yes.
You don't need to like dig, you don't need to like try to understand like your whole relationship with somebody, or like it's because that's what I would do before, like as a psychologist, back when I had my private practice, like I would write down and like try to understand the whole picture, to see what techniques might help this person, what type of approach, and like kind of like get to how can I help them better, like the most, and the mirror exercise, it was like you just start applying from scratch. Day one, boom, you have results. Like it doesn't matter who you are, what you believe, it works for everyone. And those are the things that you stick to it, like it's really what it is.
You also I think, I don't know exactly when this happened on your journey, but I think pretty early on you became an Ascension coach. You've been an Ascension coach for quite some time now, and you help other people with the mirror exercise in the sessions, since we're talking about the mirror exercise now. What is it like for you to help other people work through their things with the same method like the mirror exercise that helped you so much?
It feels like joyful. I could, like I was saying that to a client today, actually, we're talking about ascension coaching, and she wants to be an ascension coach. And I told her, like, I could do ascension coaching all day. It feels so good. It really does. It feels full of life, because I feel like even when you're coaching someone, you are also coaching yourself, because you are helping somebody heal, and by doing that you are healing, and it's so beautiful because everybody benefits. And since I use the mirror exercise, I like to get to the core of what the person is experiencing, and heal it, and then move on. And sometimes there are deeper upsets, or not, people don't feel clear, and so you have to really be present with everyone, your clients, until they feel until they find the clarity. You got kind of like gotta help them, and then when you find the clarity, then you apply the mirror exercise, and it's really amazing. And then I feel like every ascension coaching session gives you a lot of peace, and sometimes upheaval, it depends on what you're moving through, but definitely transformation. Yeah.
So when you really started diving into the teachings of union and applying the mirror exercise in your life, what changed in your life and what changed in your relationship with your twin flame?
Everything changed. Everything changed. I became aware of myself, and I couldn't just. I've been a very sassy, and there is a class even where Jeff tells me that, because I'm being like sassy and everything, and I can be sassy, and I feel like before the mirror exercise, I didn't channel the sassiness properly, and after the mirror exercise, I was like, wow, like now I have the tool that is gonna help me be myself, and like use my good things, the things that I need to still work on, like how can I improve everything, and so I feel like my whole life changed, because it looks like a very simple tool, but it transforms your relationships. I mean, my life changed, the way I talk to myself, the way I connect with myself, the way I relate to myself, the way I relate to my twin flame, the way I relate to my family, to my friends, to life. Everything changed because I changed. I think the mirror exercise changes you in a very good way, because it helps you find all the mindsets that are tied to not healthy beliefs. And so when you heal that, you are on the other side, like that's when you actually start making progress in life, in all the areas. And so I think that's why it changed. So it changed me. And when it comes to my twin flame, man, if I didn't have the mirror exercise, I wouldn't be in union. That's just very simple. Like my twin flame and I trigger each other a lot, and we needed to grow up a lot, both of us, and so we triggered each part where we were still not mature, or I don't know, we're resistant or sassy, or any other things. And so I feel like if I didn't have the mirror exercise, I wouldn't have been able to heal that, and I wouldn't have been able to be in union, because I think that like I wouldn't have known how to get through it, no matter how much I knew.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What exactly was it? Because you mentioned at the beginning, like you came into union rather quickly, once you started applying the teaching and all of that. What was it exactly that you were doing in that time that brought you the success so quickly?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I was doing the mirror exercise. 24/7. Like that was my life, because when I met my twin flame, I had a plan to like study something abroad, and so I left my country for 3 months, and even before that I wasn't doing much. I was doing this, journey of like connecting with myself. I was reading a lot. Like I started my spiritual path. And so I was kind of like having like a peaceful life. I would go to like coffees and journal, and like, I stopped seeing many people. I started to like, listen to peaceful music. Like these are things that I did before, but not so much. And so my life started to turn into that. And I had a lot of free time because I was giving myself a break from psychology, because I that's when I felt like I need to do something else. And so I was writing a lot, and really I would go to coffees and just stay there for an hour or two, writing down the mirror exercise one after the other. That was my life, and watching classes and videos of Jem Shalia, and then living my life, right? Like, doing something like exercising and like with clients. But then I always went back to write the mirror exercise, and that's how I got into union.
I feel like I love what you're sharing, and I feel like one thing that it's really easy to get hung up on sometimes is that you're kind of in a spot where you want to have your union, and then you're like, okay, what do I do? And then everyone tells you, like in Twin Flames Universe at least, like just do the mirror exercise, and everyone is kind of like, everyone's telling me to just do the mirror exercise. Why is everyone just talking about the mirror exercise? Like it can't be that easy. Like there has to be something more. And I feel your story really perfectly shows that actually there isn't. Like it's that easy. You just have to apply this one simple exercise consisting of 4 steps, and
Yes.
that's it.
And watch the classes,
Yes.
and like, because I mean, you do need to know. I always say this to my clients and to people. You do need to know about twin flames.
Yep.
You cannot just go blind. You need to learn. You need to nourish yourself. You need to educate yourself, because if you don't, then the old beliefs of relationships are gonna kick in, and they probably win if you don't know what you are doing. So you do need to humble yourself and learn. That's very crucial too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like, one big thing that I've always felt the classes are just like perfect is because like we all have so many blind spots, and the thing of a blind spot is that you don't see it. So you might have like a belief about relationships or romantic love in your consciousness, and unless you have someone showing you the way or pointing out to you that, hey, that's actually not how it's meant to be, you're just going to sit around with that belief and not even question it or know that it's there inside of you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, for example, to me, like, I remember whenever I had an upset with Ian back in the day, the first, stage of reunion, I remember, the only thing that kept me going was knowing that, like, okay, this is my twin flame, and we're one. What does it mean that we're one? Like, I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna keep going, because now I know that twin flames are here to teach each other, and so he's teaching me something, I'm teaching him something. I'm just gonna do the work. I'm just going to find what is blocking me from experiencing peace. And then every time I did that, the mirror exercise, or I watch a class, then my twin flame will always come to me, or will always come back together peaceful. And so I would see that doing the mirror exercise, watching a class, and having the commitment to to be in this relationship, that was giving me results. And I'm the type of person who sticks to, I think, everybody, really. Whatever gives you results, you stick to it. And so, yeah, I think that's why, to everybody who says like, why the mirror exercise, it's like, do you want to be, are you hungry? Well, then eat. That's just how simple it is. Like, do you want to be in union? Well, the mirror exercise. And why? And it's because you do, how can you have a beautiful and healthy relationship with yourself if you don't know yourself?
Yep.
You cannot. And so the mirror exercise helps you very profound, in a very profound way, to know yourself. And so when you know yourself, you understand yourself better. When you heal yourself, you feel better. And when you feel better and you know yourself, then you're open to know your twin flame. And then you're open to understand your twin flame. And then you're open to heal as one consciousness. And then you're open to understand what it means to be one consciousness. And then, things keep unfolding naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the beginning state, like the beginning phase of being in union, like for you? And how has it changed over the years being in union with your twin flame and working through things together?
Oh God. The first, it was really intense. We wanted to run away all the time. We had like a lot of upsets, and we were afraid, I would say, and we had like moments where we freaked out, and we were like, we can't, like, I can't do this. I just, I can't. But we never gave up to each other. And that's really sweet, like, no matter how hard it was, we never gave up on each other, because we knew that we love each other. And that, I think we both were, since the beginning, we were able to change. We were open to change, because we both knew that we were looking for each other, whether we were conscious or not conscious of it. And so I think that kept us going, and not giving up on union. And yeah, like I was saying at the beginning, it was a lot of contrast, a lot of drama, that, like, with the time, it just started to like fade away as we grew up, together, and as we healed a lot of mindsets, like cultural mindsets and many things. And and now we are grounding into a really healthy relationship.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
How have I guess, yeah, I'm gonna go with this question. When a challenge comes up on your journey with your twin flame specifically, because that's like a normal thing that everyone experiences in some way, maybe like your twin flame is with someone else, or you're having drama come up, or a fight, or just like these kind of big things where you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Like, I have no idea how to go through this. What is your advice on how to go through it and how to overcome that?
Don't let the drama take the best of you. Like, it doesn't matter how intense it looks on the outside. Don't allow that to Don't make decisions based on an upset. Like, if you're going through something big, don't make decisions. Just keep going. Chop wood and carry water, pretty much something that Jeff always says in the classes. And that's what I do. Whenever I have a very big upset or a challenge, and everything seems like, or a dark night of the soul, and everything seems dark, I just keep going. Like, I don't give up. And that's something that I've done since day one. I just never gave up. And I think that that's what people should do. Like, as long as you don't give up, you go through it. That you will go through it, even if it sounds like you can't. I think that, like, having support plays a big thing here. Like, you do need support. I didn't give myself so much support at the beginning. And I was like, oh, I can do it. Like, I have the school, I can do it myself. Like, I don't need a coach. And then I was like, that's something that I wouldn't recommend, because I was just stubborn. And so yeah, like, I realized that you need support, like, and that having support, I think also because of my profession, I always, try to be strong, because I had to be strong for others. And so I tried to be strong and like not so human. And so I was really hard on myself. And I think that it requires a lot of compassion. Like you have to be very compassionate in your journey. And so I think that like throughout the years of my union, we both have learned this, compassion for each other and not to be so hard, like, and understand, each other, understand whatever we're going through. And even if on the outside things look so big, don't make decisions based on what's going on, and also feel your feelings, and breathe, allow the storm to pass, don't fight it, just go with it, and feel your feelings and be with God. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Very profound.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because like when you ask me about my relationship, like I have glimpses of everything that we've gone through, and I'm like, damn, like it's, like it's been wow. Like I feel like we have been like two childs, and children, like two children, like fighting each other, like all along, and we both are very strong. And so it's been challenging to harmonize as one, but it's also when you find that piece of harmony, everything is worth it, everything, because it's the feeling that gets you going, that you don't change anything. It's you're a millionaire when you find that harmony as one. It's really nice.
And I feel like, what you're sharing, it also speaks to like, how much change you guys achieved, like in a rather short period of time. Because when you think about like, non-twin flame relationships, or just like relationships where you're living together, but you're not actively working on the things that are coming up, like it takes a really long time to like, for things to change. And like with your twin flame, like I know I had that feeling, like I've been with my twin flame, we've been living together for about almost close to 2 years, and it literally feels like half a lifetime, because like you go through so much and work through so many things, and so much changes so quickly. So I feel like what you're sharing like really speaks to kind of like, I don't want to say the speed, but just like the growth that is accomplished in like such a short period of time.
Yes, and it's beautiful because you are always transforming yourself, because this journey requires that. Like if you don't want to get to know yourself deeply, this is not your place. This journey is not for you, because your twin flame mirrors you. There is no other way, And so I've always been this person who was very passionate about being the best version, and like being like a badass, and I always want to be, more and more peaceful. And so for me, this is my journey, and I think that something that can really help, everyone is to know that when you are with your twin flame, you are gonna have challenges, and it's not gonna be easy. But if you stick together, if you heal through it together, you will experience the peace together, and you change. Like it's like you meet each other as new people again and again and again. And so instead of you breaking up and finding somebody better, you become that with each other. You become that better. And then I was even talking about this with like my twin flames friend the other day. He was like, I find it so curious that like you guys have changed so much in the last 4 years. You are like new people, and instead of you being with other people, like you are with each other, and you choose each other. You choose again and again. And I think that's what the twin flame journey is about. Instead of changing the person for somebody better, you change yourself, your twin flame changes, him or herself, and then you meet again in a new way, in a more peaceful and healthy way. And then you keep ascending, and it just grows and it never ends.
I really love that.
Yeah, it's what it is.
What is something about the twin flame journey that you feel you understand now that you wish you had kind of understood or known from the very beginning?
I think something that I wish I had understood from the beginning is that separation is not real. That like you are not separate. We both were really afraid of that, and that brought us a lot of contrast. And so I think that something that I would change, I think, would be the power I gave to I can be separate. Like this can be over, which is not true. Right. And so I think that it's kind of like it's a mindset. I don't know. It's a choice to what are you gonna feed? Like are you gonna feed the fear, or are you gonna feed the truth? Meaning truth, meaning in your heart, and what's the truth of your relationship. And so are you gonna allow the fear to give you thousands of thoughts that are full of fear, or are you going to silence that and listen to the voice of God that keeps you going with peace? The journey doesn't need to be hard and very strong. It can be more easy, and that's up to us, really. But I don't blame myself either. I had a lot to learn, and I was really new to it. And I think that like everyone, maybe a lot of people who are listening to this right now are new, and so, but now we have more information. Now we have more people who are, kind of like showing, hey, like I also got into union. Hey, I also had this. There are people in Harmonious Union. Like we have so much support right now, and so I feel like if I had all of that before, I wouldn't hesitate on taking all in. And it's not that I didn't, but I was stubborn, and I wouldn't allow myself to be so supported, like so much, like and I tried to do a lot of things on my own, and that's something that I wouldn't recommend. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel you're speaking to a very important point. Like I always like to kind of highlight this, that like it's really important to have the support and to just like know that you don't have to figure it out by yourself, and you're actually not meant to. Like it's a kind of like trying to reinvent the wheel. That's how I always like to kind of compare it with, because it's like Jeff and Shia have like, really provided a way of like, this is how it works, just do this and you will get a result. And like I feel all of us have in some way or another kind of like for me, I know I had that like really recently, where I had to really come back to the basics and understand like, okay, it's actually not more complicated than just following exactly what they say to do. And when I do exactly what they say they do, I really get the results, and like I don't have to add extra stuff or make it more complicated or think that it's this thing that I have to figure out by myself or whatnot. And yeah, I feel that's like kind of like, we each of us have like our journey in a sense to release stubbornness or doing it on our own, and coming back to just like trusting the people who have already figured it out.
Exactly. And I think it has also a lot to do with trust.
Yeah.
Like for me, it has always been not easy to trust, and so I think that like that plays a big role. Whoever is going through that, they should focus on healing trust issues, because when you heal, trust, and when you feel that you are safe, then it's way easier for you to follow those who have paved the way. you know, and yeah, that is faster. That's the fast way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, healing, I guess at the end of the day, it's about like also healing trust with God. That's what I also like come to many times when I'm realizing, okay, like, yeah, it is really about trusting God.
Exactly. Yeah, and then also that's when control comes in. You know, when like you want to have control over everything because you don't know the unknown, you don't really know God. You have to get to know God. And so, you know, but yeah, I feel like this is not something to blame, you know, like each
No.
other, or I think that like we need to have a lot of compassion for ourselves and for everybody else, because I don't think we were taught to just, oh yeah, this is a beautiful world you can trust, you know, like a lot of things happen. It's
Yeah.
not, you know, and so, but God is always there and you can always trust God. And so I think that like, yeah, that's like you're saying, like that's really important. And yeah, you just experience God when you trust Him more. And then you just, when you trust God, you trust this, you know, the teachings of union, because they feel really good. And everything that feels really good feels home, then it's God. And so it's safe to trust, not just the teaching, you know, like many things in life. But you gotta be careful because there are so much out there, you know, there is so much that you have to really develop that inner peaceful connection with God that helps you see where is God and where He's not, you know, like that's important.
You mentioned earlier when you spoke about how one big thing for you was not feeding this belief that separation is real, or recognizing that, okay, separation doesn't exist. You mentioned how part of that was like silencing the voices of fear in your mind. How exactly did you go about doing that?
So I tell myself, you know, no, this is a fearful thought. You're not welcome. Like I have boundaries. I place strong boundaries. Um, this is not guiding me to where I want to go. No, I'm not taking this. I'm not buying this. You know, like that's what I usually say. And whenever it's like a thought, just with the purpose of like, you know, make me feel fearful, I place those boundaries. And if I still feel bad, then that means that I need to heal, you know, of course. And so I go, I heal it, and then I continue on placing boundaries and saying no, you know, no to this. Like, I feel like whenever you have like drama thoughts, that's when you know, you can say, no, there is no need, you know, like, I can choose love now. I can choose peace. I can love myself here and surrender that instead of buying into that, which is why people give up on their twin flame journey too. They buy into those fears, those thoughts. It's not easy, but when you practice that, it becomes part of you, and then, you know, your divinity really is in charge. And that's what, you know, that's how you should, like, I think everybody should go alone in their lives.
Yeah. If you I was really looking forward to this question. I feel this one is a fun one. If you could make a list of like the top things to do on the twin flame journey and the top things not to do on the twin flame journey, what would you put on that list?
So things to do, definitely get a coach, you know, like get support, and have fun with your twin flame. Um, it matters what you do. So I would say choose to, if you are just seeing your twin flame right now, let's say, choose to maybe like hang around in peaceful places, you know, that ground you, that support you on a soul level. Like do fun activities, spend time alone, like with each other a lot, more than with like other people. That's something definitely to do. What else? I think um, get to know each other, you know, talk, like share about your life with each other, um, and be yourself, you know, be funny with each other, because you're always safe to be yourself. And so like, you know, it's safe to like just um don't be so serious, you know, like be fun, you know, and be friends with your twin flame, you know, work on your friendship and allow the romantic side to naturally unfold, you know, as you work on having a beautiful friendship and connection. It's a soul that understands you more than anybody, even if it doesn't look like it, you know. Yeah, so like do things that make you feel alive, you know, and also chill, you know, chill, relax. You don't need to like always be like, oh my God, like I want to be doing these, we need to work on these, like watch a show, you know, like do something chill, like find balance, I would say. That's really important. Yeah, and not always think, you know, like be present and, you know, yeah, enjoy. That those are the things that I would say do. Not to do by the drama. I think I've said it today. You know, like everything that you shouldn't do. Like don't fall into the drama. Don't allow other people opinions to get the best of you. Don't don't judge a relationship based on an upset. um don't judge each other, like understand each other, you know. Don't talk to each other, I guess, if you are really triggered. Like give yourself a space, you know, to heal so you can have a healthy relationship. Yeah, those are like no's. Learn to say no. That's really important in the twin flame journey. If you don't learn to say no, you leak your energy, like you know, and then that's not gonna, when you don't say no, you don't have left.
Yeah.
You don't have any energy left for your union, and you need that energy for your union. So learn to say no, even to your twin flame. It's okay, your twin flame, you know, like you need to put yourself first. That doesn't mean that, you know, you gotta be all day. I mean, even when you're together, you can have a space, you know, so have a space. Yeah, like don't have like a codependent relationship and things like that. So yeah.
I love this list. A lot of very practical, good pieces of advice on there. Thank you for sharing all of this.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
We are almost we've reached almost the end of this. I have one last question to you. If you could go back to the very beginning of your journey and give that version of you a piece of advice or a message, what would you let her know?
To myself?
Yourself,
like
at the beginning of your journey.
Oh my God. Okay. I think I will tell her, you are a badass. You are doing it so good. You are more stronger than you think. You're stronger than you think. You are beautiful. You're powerful. Believe in yourself. Believe in your connection. You are definitely not crazy. You are actually divine, and you're actually really interested in getting to know the mind of God. and I'm so proud of you because of that. um I honor you. That's what I would say to myself. Yeah.
Very deep.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think that we don't do that often. We don't value ourselves, and that's something that shouldn't be an option. I mean, it should just be normal to value yourself and have that balance between um seeing our worth and just be another child of God doing their thing, to help the world in whatever way you feel called.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there any, I feel guided to ask you this, is there any kind of last thing or anything you still feel guided to share, or that you have on your heart and you want to share with the people listening?
Yeah, I definitely feel emotional right now. And I think it's because I'm feeling grateful with myself that I didn't give up. Because I think that, the twin flame journey is a blessing, like I said at the beginning. And so for everybody who is listening, I just want to say, like, keep going, like, just keep going. And be committed to yourself and your healing. Like, don't focus on what are you gonna get from what you're doing. Focus on what else do I need to do to feel with, connected to God. At the end of the day, everything is about that, like having that relationship with God and living in that, like, every day, and every moment, every breath, you take should be God, and with God, with love, with peace. And when you have that handled, then, I mean, that's when you finally can have also harmonious union, and a permanent harmonious union. And I would say to those who are listening, like, don't allow anything to get in the way of you cultivating your relationship with God. Don't allow anything to tell you that there's something more important than your relationship with God, because there isn't. That's where your paradise is. That's where your twin flame is. That's where your success is. And so, yeah, like, if there is something I can, conclude with, the podcast would be God. Like, it's God, and it's safe to surrender to God's messengers, because they are the bridge. That's what Jev and Shalia are. They are a bridge. They show us the way to God, and it's safe to surrender and listen, like you were saying earlier. Listen to those who walk the path.
Yep.
And can help you get there, because what Jev and Shalia have is God, and that's what I have, what you have, what everybody has. And it's really a matter of choosing to like be aware of that relationship, and that gets you going. I think that that's only that. It's just the motivator you need to give up, not to give up, to keep going, to go after your dreams, and to have the best life, pretty much.
I love this last message. Very, very powerful, and very, what's the word, to the point. I think that's it.
Yeah, it's because that's what everything is about, really. And I think that, yeah, I said God, 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 right? But now maybe those who are listening are like, okay, so how I can experience God? Like, well, it's a very subtle thing. find peace, right? Breathe, connect, change your life. You need to change and transform your life if you want to be with God. There's a sacrifice, but the sacrifice is not a bad one. You actually have to sacrifice what was not good for you, what was not leading you towards your peaceful and best life. So yeah.
Very important point.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Dany, for everything that you have shared today. I really enjoyed having this talk with you. I love everything that you shared, all the insights and the experiences you've had on this journey, on your journey, and how you overcame your challenges, and just the entire package. This was really a pleasure to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I'm really happy you invited me and feel very honored to be here as well. And it's really healing for me to share. And so I hope that everything we talked today helps everyone who's listening. And that's the point. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much as well.
Thank you. And yeah, for everyone who has been listening, thank you for being here with us today. And I want to invite all of you to head over to twinflamesuniverse.com, where you can find Twin Flame Ascension School Life Purpose class and all of the products that help you achieve your Harmonious Twin Flame Union and transform your life, as Dany put so perfectly. Yeah, and really just create a life of your dreams, a life that feels good, and build your relationship with God. We also have a free Twin Flame Ascension introductory course on the website that I highly recommend signing up for. It's a course that consists of 8 lessons, and it really gives you the basics, or like the foundation of how this journey works and how you can be successful on your journey. And with that being said, the next episode is coming out next week. We'll be back next week. And in the meantime, I wish all of you many blessings on your journey to Harmonious Twin Flame Union.
I'm gonna keep you